Does India see its warming relationship with the United States as a counter to the relationship with China?
No, I don't think so at all. First of all, India has its own relationship with China, and for that matter, so does the US. And I think neither country would be inclined to condition that relationship on any relations with another third party. China is our biggest neighbor. It's also an extremely important trading partner. We have over $70 billion in trade, and both prime ministers, or the previous prime minister of India and the previous prime minister of China, announced that they would take it up to $100 billion before the end of the decade, and they certainly seem to be on course for that. I don't think that India would likely want to jeopardize what is a growing and warming relationship because of any other country's desire to see it as a counterweight or anything else. Having said that, the truth is that there are issues between India and China that need to be resolved. There is the world's longest unresolved frontier dispute, where both sides disagree on their perceptions of where the border lies between them. And we in India consider it a pity that this can't be settled after so many years. There's certainly a bit of blame to go on both sides. When Deng Xiaoping offered a formula way back in 1980, India didn't feel it had the political willingness to accept that. Today, India goes back to the table and says, let's go back to that formula. China says it's no longer willing to offer it. So there's an unwillingness, it seems, on the part of both sides to go to their maximum position to find a compromise. But a compromise would be extremely helpful. Because we just saw with the visit of President Xi Jinping to India that even while he was there was an extremely unseemly transgression on the ceasefire line on the border, which resulted in casting a shadow over what would otherwise have been an extremely successful visit. So this is the kind of irritant that needs to be gotten out of the way between the two countries. And once it is resolved, I'm confident that we'll see a lot more progress in India-China relations. There are obvious areas we can develop right now: more travel, more tourism, more exchange of scholars, more understanding of each other's societies and politics. And of course, there are a number of areas where our interests are really not incompatible. Keeping open the sea lanes of communication across the Indian Ocean should benefit both India and China when it comes to goods from the Middle East and Africa, because they have to pass India to get to China. So it's in the interest of both countries to help keep peace on the oceans. To give you one example, there are many other things we could be doing together, both multilaterally at the United Nations and bilaterally in Asia and on the subcontinent. But it would certainly help to get the border dispute out of the way. It's been dragging on for far too long.